Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Fifth Word Spirit. I am here with your weekly tarot and oracle card reading for the week of November 8th, 2020. I'm kind of still breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief. If you have been watching American politics uh, in the last week, in the last year, in the last 4 years, um, had a very important election last week, and the results are still coming in, but the projected winner has been pretty much decided by the American people through voting and through the amount of electoral votes that are available now to the uh, popularly voted candidate. So, still, yeah, it's one of those like there's a sigh of relief, but there's still more work to do. So that's where my head is at. But spiritually, what I've been sensing even in the last week is just remembering a little bit of last week's reading, which was to have compassion, even in the face of knowing that you could kind of strike a blow in a sort of sense, but still working to find a way to put the sword back in the scabbard and, allow things to kind of play out, but be ready to draw your sword at the perfect time, is essentially what that reading was last week. So, um, now let's talk a little bit about what's going on with the moon. As everyone, well, hopefully, if you're watching, I've been studying the moon quite a lot. I've actually been getting a lot of messages in the last week or so to do a shamanic journey to the middle world, to talk to the moon and ask a few more questions about it. Um, so that's my journey. I hope you all are also having your own communication with nature and developing a relationship with nature, because what's really important in the coming days and years is to start developing that relationship with the earth, and how we find ourselves on the earth, how we engage with the world around us, with nature, um, with with our bodies in nature. So, all right, the moon is currently in the sign of Leo. It is I believe it's waning moon. It's a quarter moon. So the it's about halfway through the cycle. Yeah, it's like a half moon. Let me look it up because I know. I have been following it, but this last week, oh my gosh, it's just oh, so much going on, like so much, a very tense week for me. I did a lot to try and avoid the moon, not avoid the news. Sorry, not the moon. Okay, where are you? All right, yeah. So we've got a quarter moon right now. And it's kind of timely because it says here quarter moon adjustments are required. I'm looking at the Moonology deck, just reading from the book. I'm not going to try and pull the card. Um, so, yeah, we're moving. If we think about the moon in terms of um, the mother as the full moon who has birthed this thing, this idea, this creative thing that has been formed in the womb of the virgin, right? Now we're moving out of this mother phase and into this wisdom phase. And it's quite possible that something has come to light or we are being presented with an opportunity that might change the course of our actions. And we'll find out more about that wisdom that comes forth when the moon goes into the balsamic phase, which is moving toward the new phase, or the crone phase of the moon. The moon is a very feminine aspect. It's got very feminine. The moon is feminine. It's got lunar cycles. It goes through the process of um, receiving and creating life, and then also going through the process of death and rebirth. So the moon is a very powerful energy to observe and to honestly take into our own spirit and understand the world around us, by the example of the cycles that it gives. So I'm going to go ahead and start the reading. Let me create a sacred space here, just kind of clear and align the energies. Thank you so much, Spirit. Now, which deck should I use? I got some very strong messages from the Dream Enchantress Tarot. Actually, my dreams in the last week or so have been really, I don't want to say heavy, but a lot more dreaming than I've been doing, at least over the summer. So let's go ahead and call in the Spirit. I call on my Ascended Masters and Teachers. I call on my enlightened and ascended ancestors. I call on the spirits of the elements of air, fire, water, earth, and I call on the fifth spirit, the nature that unifies and unites and combines us all, that we are all connected to come into this reading with some guidance for the collective for the week of November 8th. Thank you so much, Spirit. All right. Thank you, Spirit. Let's see. Can you give us a message, any guidance for the week of November 8th, 2020? I kind of wanted those two to come out. I'll set those there. Oh, that's a lot. All right. You're giving it to me. I'll take it. Really? Oh my gosh, you guys. All right. So we've got some cards out. Wow. Oh my goodness. Wow, I didn't even see that came out with this card. Okay. All right. Do that. Now we've got these two here. And let's do this. Wow. All right, my friends, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 9 cards out in this reading. First up is the Hermit. These two came out. I didn't even see the second card that had come out with the Knight of Pentacles. But there's the Knight of Pentacles and the Death card. Then we have the King of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. The Queen of Wands. The Eight of Pentacles. Wow, we have a pair out of the King of Wands and the Five of Cups. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Magician. Okay, so let's give me 1 second just to kind of observe here. Hmm. Okay. So the first thing that catches my eye here is how we start out this journey. Um, and I want to remind everyone that this reading may not resonate. One, may not resonate with everyone, and two, might not happen this week. This looks like something that might play out. I don't know why I'm seeing December. Um, but, you know, I'm not even going to put a time on it. So if it resonates with you, yeah, I hope this is uh, of your benefit, for your benefit. So I see the Hermit here. The Hermit card in this deck for me is about someone going within. It could be that you are also finding yourself, you might actually be guiding, you might find yourself in a teaching role, a guidance role, where you are leading others into their sense of purpose or their sense of self. Um, and sometimes when you find yourself in this role of teacher, you also find yourself in the role of observer and um, what's the word? You also find yourself in this role of not just guiding someone into the lesson, but being an observer. Um, so you see how they change, you see how they transform, you see, all these things that go into the process of, you are the teacher, but you are also able to hold the space of the student, right? You're able to hold the space of transformation for the student. So this is where I see this Knight of Pentacles and this Death card coming in, because you find yourself being the person that kind of ushers in change that is beneficial, change that is change that is steady. It could be that you're getting an offer this week based on your ability to kind of make that open that path for someone, because the Death card here, yes, death is a um, yes, the Death card can be a little scary, but what really is it that scares us about death? Is it the fact that there's change involved? Is it the fact that, you know um, is it the fact that we are put into a situation where we may not know how to handle anything, on top of being able, to know how to handle our own grief? That is a very powerful place to be. Death as a tarot card is kind of this portal that we find ourselves moving through. And it seems as if you are guiding the way in this portal. You are guiding the way for change. You are guiding the way for a new earth. You are guiding the way for stability. Wow. So let's move on to this King of Cups and this Page of Pentacles. Because here, the King of Cups for me is someone who um, is very mature in their oh, what's the word? Someone who's very mature in their emotions. Cups are about emotions and feelings and relationships. But this is someone who's kind of holding back, not really offering the cup of love, not really being uh, freely giving it, but kind of asking, what are you going to do in return for this cups? It's what I'm sensing in this card. What are you going to do in return for this cup? And there's a newness there. There's this ability to, you're leading the way for this transformation, right? But there's also this saying of, like, what are you going to do in return for the betterment of this relationship? Or someone is actually looking at you and saying you have this ability yourself. You have this ability to discern and decide who is going to receive this cup. Oh man. Mm, wow. And it being alongside the page of Pentacles here, yeah, there's definitely there's a new relationship here. Interesting. There's a new relationship here. What does this mean? This looks like a freelance situation. Someone might be offering you some sort of you okay, so here's what's happening. It looks as if you are using some sort of some you've learned something, right? And you're making someone is seeing, right, that you've made clear this path of change and stability, and they come in and they offer you, it's an opportunity being offered here, a newness coming in. And but it's more, it's just stability on top of stability. Someone sees how lucrative you can be for them. And it's wow, this is amazing. Hmm. Okay, so this this King of Cups and this Page of Pentacles, I'm gonna have to clarify this, mostly because I see opportunity here, but I also see there's something about a relationship here. It could be that someone sees it could be that someone sees you making all these stable moves, and they are seeing you as someone worth investing in. Yeah, that's what I see. They're seeing you as someone worth investing in. And now I know I haven't shown any of the cards really, but here's the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is coming up next, and the Queen of Wands is telling me that all of this energy on this top row is now you appearing in full ownership of yourself. You are completely understanding of your own nature. You are completely understanding of your own body, your own ability, your own state of being. And it just kind of confirms that I mean, of course, Queen of Wands is about fire and passion and about, it definitely is about independence. The Queen of Wands is very highly independent, and that's the energy that's coming forward. Uh, but then, of course, it's confirmed again with yet another pentacle. In all of these, it's like every time you reach a milestone of your own self, a milestone of your own transformation, you are being gifted with a pentacle. You are being gifted now with the Eight of Pentacles. Once you realize every single milestone that you've gone through and that has given you growth, now you are being gifted with the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is all about, now that you understand that, now that you've gone through and you understand that each milestone has been a gift, each change, each gateway of change for you has been a gift, right? You now understand that I need to understand how to repeat this, because when I repeat the process, I get better, or I get gifted, or I get creative, or I get better at the thing that I'm doing. This is amazing, because now at the once you realize that you have this creative ability, right? Now it's almost as if you have become wiser, and you have matched that. And it's you've met this, you've gone from being not just the Queen of Wands, but now you are embodying the passion of the King of Wands, because this is more of a, yes, I'm having fun, I'm just doing what I like, and I just love being, outdoors and in control of my own body and where I go and what I do, to now you've taken that energy and you've built up an empire. You've built up this passionate empire, based on, and we can talk about the king and we can talk about castles and we can talk about thrones all day, but what this energy is, this is more about what's going on the inside. This is, you've built up even more passion to the point that you are now able to say, I can get up off of this throne. I can take this energy and I can put it in anything else that I want to do, right? But I have to make sure that I'm not acting irrationally. I have to make sure that I'm not acting impulsively, because this could be an energy of impulse. Now, finally, the last card that came out was the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is, it's it's almost as if you haven't learned from this first process of, at first I was the hermit. At first I went inside and I gathered all this information about myself, and I now know more about myself to the point where I can actually tell others about themselves, right? So the Five of Cups comes up. And the Five of Cups is, this is the energy of, crying over spilled milk, right? The Five of Cups is, yes, it's about our emotions. Yes, it's about our, cups are about our relationships. And it could be that there is kind of an upset when it comes to a relationship or relationships. Um, oh goodness, and I can't stop myself from saying this. There's no way. If this is not okay, okay, pause. So, I am reading this from a spiritual standpoint, and I'm reading this for your internal knowledge. But a lot of people are looking for Aisha, Aisha, I said my name, whatever. A lot of people are looking for, advice on relationships and things like that. So to me, if you're looking for the 3D nature of this reading, the 3D nature of this reading is that someone is making you an offer of relationship, and someone is being changed by that offer and has gotten greedy to the point where now they don't see that now they're in this Five of Cups energy. They're kind of like, they've upset all kinds of relationships. Now, the spiritual side of this reading, the one where you are learning internally about yourself and all these energies, everything that's playing out here is playing out inside of you. This is where you understand, right? This Five of Cups. This is where you are being shown that when you experience an upset that causes, you might be focusing on just the two cups that have fallen over. You might be just focusing on those two cups. This is an understanding that there are still three cups that are ready for you. You can't keep worrying about the two that you've lost. You've got to keep an eye on the three that are left. And so if you haven't learned your lesson about hitting all these milestones, right? Hitting all these marks for the spiritual nature of this reading, if you haven't been paying attention, you've lost all these lessons. You've lost that ability to, make changes for yourself. Don't get caught up in grief. That's the trap. Grief is the trap. If we get caught up in the grief of the situation, we lose out on the ability to move into something new. And I think that's what the Five of Cups here is saying. Now, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Magician. That's a major arcana card. This is the card that comes after the card of Fool, which is the beginning of the journey of the tarot. So this is often considered masculine energy. This is often considered divine masculine energy, quite frankly. Um, so it could be that while this is about manifestation, right, and understanding that in things fall down, but things get back up again. Things fall down, things get back up again. This divine masculine, and I know people hear this a lot. I'm not talking this in terms of like twin flames or anything like that, but this is about the masculine energy that is experiencing this this regrowth, this constant, pummeling of change that sometimes, they fight against, if you think of yourself, if you understand yourself as, a family, as one in your body. So the divine feminine, the divine masculine, the inner child, that whole, spiritual internal family of self. It's the masculine that has a hard time with not having a hierarchy, not having a full grasp of, look, the divine masculine. And yes, this is a feminine deck, so every, even the magician, even the kings have a feminine feel. But the magician here um, has control of every element in the deck. So there's fire, there's water, there's air, there's earth in in a sense, in this photo, in this illustration. And so, when the masculine does not have control of all those things, they can quickly get into, that side of you can quickly get into a manipulative energy instead of a manifestation energy. So if you kind of take a look at how the masculine, right? And I say masculine, I'm talking about energy. I'm not talking about, physical shape. I'm talking about, the masculine needs things put in order. The masculine needs things hierarchy and unrelated. The masculine needs things to work A, B, C, D, E, F, G. The feminine is all about linking things. The feminine is about chaos. The feminine is about knowledge, right? And holding the space for all these things to coexist. The masculine is now going through this phase of understanding what it is to be the feminine. So there could be this, oh my gosh, a change all the time, and never having any kind of focus until it comes down to this Five of Cups. And it's almost like giving up completely, just giving up completely the whole, all the lessons that come with this cycle of change, this cycle of moving through these milestones, these gates. Yeah. So be on the lookout for the internal part, the energy, your own energy, right? Be on the lookout for your own energy that might be discounting the lessons of change that are being presented to you, be it this week, be it in the next couple of months. Do not get caught in the trap of grief. Whatever you lose, right? Whatever you lose was meant to be lost. There are still 3 cups standing. But 5 is also about big change. So it could be we see a lot of relationships change in this process. It could be the end result, right? It could be that we have a lot of relationship changes. We find ourselves moving. We find ourselves moving, quite honestly. I don't know where that came from. Okay, so where are we at time wise? We're at about 30 minutes. Let me go ahead and give you some guidance here. What do I want to use for guidance? What do you guys think? Haven't done animal spirit in a while. And you know what? I have not done wild and known archetypes. So let's see if we can do two of those. Let's do archetypes first. Okay. And just a little bit of an announcement. I am coming up on my 1 year anniversary. The channel is coming up on its 1 year anniversary. So almost a year ago this month, I started Fifth Root Spirit to share my tarot experiences and give collective readings. I hope you all have enjoyed it thus far. I am attempting starting a Patreon simply so that I can really devote more time to doing these readings and actually expand on readings that I do, like the kind of readings that I do, because all of the ones that I do, I rarely do them on this channel. So so let's go ahead and ask Spirit for some guidance for this reading. And we talk about the divine masculine, and we talk about this journey of change that the masculine is going through and experiencing this week. Let's see, Spirit, do you have any guidance? Whoop, so many cards, but I will take the one that fell off. Oh no, those are 3 cards. All right, I just need 1 card, Spirit, please. This one? Okay. All right, so we've got the mentor, not the mentor. And let's see, I'm gonna ask for a spirit card, animal spirit card. Okay. All right, Spirit, can you give us some guidance from the animal spirit deck for this reading? The elk card. Thank you, Spirit. All right. Awesome. Let's read the archetypes guidance first. I feel like the mentor has come up before. I think I used it in a reading, a shamanic reading recently. So let's get the mentor card up. Then we'll also get the elk card. See that? Okay, good. All right, the mentor. That is card 6. Okay, the mentor. Wow, the teacher. Wow, what was the first card that I came up with? The hermit, the teacher. Okay, the mentor, the teacher, the sage, the guru. It is said that cosmic knowledge pours down on the world like a great illuminated waterfall. This can be an overwhelming force. The true teacher, though, is said to be able to hold this flow of wisdom at bay while the student sips from a focused stream. The mentor archetype has a gift for reading the room, for sensing the exact ingredient that will stimulate growth within the student, whether pleasant or painful. The mentor may appear aloof or available, harsh or tender, humorous or rigid. Their gift is to know what serves the soul. Ultimately, the mentor is in service of the greater cosmic good and aids in the elevation of consciousness. Anytime the mentor forgets this humble link and mistakes themselves for the source of enlightenment, the archetype falls into shadow. Yeah, this is where I see this King of Wands kind of dangerously being on the edge there of, creating, you've gone from that teacher energy, right? You've gone from that hermit teacher energy, guidance energy, and it's very easy to forget your beginnings. And it also is very interesting to point out that as I was reading that, I understood that, when they said here, the true teacher, though, is said to be able to hold this flow of wisdom at bay while the student sips from a focused stream. It's very easy to let the ego get in the way of your being this education, like being this mentor, being this guide. and allowing that flow of knowledge to become diluted, to become overwhelmed. So I also see in this Five of Cups a kind of an overwhelm, kind of there was too much water. And because of that, all these cups fell over. And, instead of focusing on the three cups that were left, there was it definitely is like crying over, the grief of not being able to hold the flow, right? Hold those two cups upright. Can get to you. Now, the other thing is, I'm a little bit worried when I look at this card because I do see, two main relationships being knocked down. And the nature of relationships, and I think I should point this out, the nature of relationships is sometimes they fall down. Sometimes, the 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 life force in these cups is not sustainable. But once we understand, right, when we think about the nature of the moon, the how the moon phases go, um, as we move into the the crone energy, the dark moon, we have to understand and we have to somehow find a way to acknowledge and the allow death, because without death we cannot have rebirth. And I think that's the biggest teacher of all, is to understand that we have to make way for that. And it's almost as if the acceptance of this starts this process over again. But okay. So when the mentor is in light energy, it is focused, clear, bright, and remains a student. When it's dark, it is self-serving, it is envious of youth, it is righteous and rigid. To go deeper, read the riddles of Zen masters and their students. Although typically true that parents are our initial teachers, the child will eventually seek a mentor figure outside of the home to assist their growth. Keep in mind how easy it is to project power onto another. The expressions feet of clay and cult of personality exist for a reason. Wow. Yeah, and that's also, there's a danger of holding up these cups as, ideals that we must also always live by. And there's a danger in that, right? Okay, let me go ahead and read the elk, and I will start getting ready for my week and also for, excuse me, for the midweek reading, which will probably include, actually, I think the midweek reading will be the new moon reading. I can't wait to do. I love doing the new moon readings, and oh my gosh, it's amazing. Okay, let's look up elk here. Elk, elk, elk. Okay, elk. All right. Stable, resilient, headstrong, the father. The great elk represents the earth element in its masculine form. Ooh, wow. Since we're talking about divine masculine, I don't think I've done that in quite a while. Um, This means it provides underlying support and stability amidst life's many changes. An elk personality, whether male or female, is fully established in themselves and knows their core values. They become known and respected for acting in ways that uphold those values. Sometimes the elk's ego can become inflated, but for the most part, they make damn good fathers, mothers, lovers, and friends. The world needs more elk energy. Yeah, you need to find a way to stay in elk energy for sure. So when you're in balance, right, you are supportive, kind, and consistent. But when you're out of balance, you're pretentious, high, and mighty. To bring into balance, eat and drink more consciously. Okay? I hope that has been a helpful reading for you. If you enjoyed the reading, please give a like, or even better, subscribe for more readings. I do weekly readings every week. I do weekly energy readings every week, and I also do full moon, new moon readings. And now I'm actually moving my astrology updates and new sun season readings to Patreon. So if you're interested in seeing those readings, yeah, head on over to the link in the description and become a Patreon, excuse me, a Patreon subscriber. All right. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful week. I will see you later. Namaste.